Hello and welcome. This is Eric Miskell with EMS Now, and welcome to this edition of EMS Now Up Close. It is my great pleasure to speak with Dieter Weiss, market researcher extraordinaire out of Europe. Dieter, good to see you again. We have lots to talk about today.
Yes, thank you. Nice to talk with you, Eric.
Yeah. I'm going to warn our audience at the beginning that the Cosmos seems to be messing up some of the recording today, our bandwidth. So please bear with us. If some screens freeze up, we'll just power through it. So Dieter, let me begin by asking you about Productronica. Productronica happened last week. It didn't happen, the year before, Electronica. What was your experience? How was it? How was the attendance? How was the experience last week?
First of all, let me go back 2 years when the last Productronica in 2019 happened. I remember my conclusions those days were that it was the best Productronica ever. We had 6 A halls fully occupied, 6 B halls fully occupied, and 3 C halls fully occupied. And it was such a fantastic event with all key management being at the show. One has to say today, this could not have been topped at all, even under normal circumstances. But now with COVID, and you probably heard all the news on the press that we have more or less an explosion of COVID at the moment in Germany, specifically in Bavaria. And even so, 70% of people are vaccinated, and all intelligent people, at least those are the ones that are in the management of the EMS companies, they are all vaccinated. So there is a much lower risk for them to attend the show. Still, some of them were very concerned. Some even canceled their attendance to the show. And we had 4 A halls and 4 B halls at Productronica open, which is 8 halls compared to 15 halls 2 years ago. But at the same time, if you actually looked in every hall, there were big idle spaces. So this wasn't 8 halls, it was maybe 5 halls or even 4 halls, yeah, if they had been fully occupied. To some people, it was frustrating because some of them were in a corner where more or less nothing was happening. For example, our Austrian friends are always from the state of Kärnten. They have a combined booth of many different electronic companies, and they were this year more or less sitting in a corner, very much isolated, and I can only say that, in my opinion, that was not right, it wasn't fair. But anyhow, that was the case. Controls were very strict. Some were a little unlogic due to the fact that I had to show my vaccination pass 3 times, even though I had uploaded it the week before in order to get to my entrance pass. And I said, well, am I going to lose my vaccination overnight, or what is going on over here? And on the other hand, they didn't ask me for a photo ID, which in my opinion would have made more sense, because I could have had a vaccination of a friend of mine and an exhibitor's pass of a friend of mine without anybody realizing. But that is just the thing. We see that at the moment in public as well, in restaurants, and some people use logic and are very strict. Others, it's a bit questionable. Regarding the people attending as visitors, I can say the visitor density, to call it, which means visitors per square meter of exhibition space, it looked like the same as 2 years ago, which as well means if you only have a third of exhibitors, you probably have had a third of visitors. But the quality of visitors was very well. Companies did not send too many people. They only sent those people which really needed to go there and have contacts with suppliers. And that means the quality of the visits definitely was improved. It was not less a look and see exhibition. It was an exhibition of serious discussions. And so at the end of the day, yes, overall, it was good that it happened.
Good. Yeah, and that is what some of the general feedback I've received already is that while the numbers were down as far as attendance, the quality of the people there weren't just a bunch of people wandering the halls just looking at, these were actually some decision makers, and that the quality of interaction, as you're indicating, was very positive. So.
Mm-hmm.
How was it in the booths? I know that there was some restrictions as far as having to maintain some distancing in the booths, and was that awkward, or did that just work and flow naturally?
No, you couldn't see any difference to the normal business.
Good. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that then. So, well, hopefully, this, obviously next year, people are going to start hoping to do shows again and pick them up some more. I know they've been happening in Asia for the last year, so there's probably been some lessons learned from some success stories, and we take that all forward with us and, continue to keep safety first and but yet do business. So that's, anyway, I'm glad to hear
I think we, this pandemic has to end one day. Let's face it, we are all sick and tired of this, and I'm not thinking about Christmas at the moment. Last year I didn't see my kids due to all these stupid restrictions and due to the fact that the politicians made decisions too late, and this year I'm worried again about this. But regarding the business, I really look forward next year in May. We will have SMT Connect, the next exhibition for our industry, for the EMS industry. And I think there either was last week or it is this week an exhibition in Italy, in Milan, where several companies are flying out to. And I haven't heard any feedback on the biggest German exhibition for the medical industry, which is Medica. This happened last week in Düsseldorf.
Okay.
Yeah,
and we're planning for Apex here in the United States, which will be in late January of next year. And so, it's the new normal. So we'll see how this goes. But I echo your sentiments there. Everybody is ready to put this behind us and hopefully move forward. Let me change gears a little bit with you very quickly and ask you, December is almost here. It's been an interesting year. We've been hearing some very good updates out of Europe for the EMS industry. What are you seeing? How is the year ending for EMS in Europe?
See, normally inventory levels of the companies, depending on the revenue size, have been in the region of 20 to 24% of annual revenues. Of this, about 18% were raw goods, which you need to manufacture. Now you have to realize that not all raw goods need to be stored in inventory if they can be bought easily from somewhere from stores. This means if you calculate an average material usage of the EMS manufacturer of 65 to 70% of revenues, you can say that the existing inventory earlier this year lasted all through the first half of this year. So there was no restrictions even with the semiconductor allocation in revenue for the first half. But now we have seen the third quarter, and we saw that several companies were hit badly with a lack of components, with the allocation problems, and in actual fact saw not only declining revenues in the third quarter, but I analyzed 12 very big EMS companies in Europe, and 1/3, 4 companies out of the 12, now after 3 quarters already have more negative revenue than they had in the first 3 quarters last year, which is not very healthy. On the other hand, people have to still buy a lot of inventory, which is harming your cash flow. And now I'm not spreading any rumor, because that is not my business, but other people are spreading rumors about some people having cash problems already, having to defer payments to their suppliers. But well, that's a usual thing that happens. At the moment, I do not see any situation which would harm a company substantially. Now, the fourth quarter, and that is a strange thing, the third quarter for the smaller companies was better for the simple reason they normally carry more inventories than the big ones. And even so, this is normally a negative point. In this case, on the allocation problem, was a positive thing. And the smaller EMS in the third quarter were actually doing better than the big ones. But they will now be hurt in the fourth quarter as well. My original prediction that European revenues would pick up in 2021 by about 6 to 6.5%. I'm not certain anymore. It could be 1 to 2% less. It'll be more than 2020, but it's not that every company, every EMS is jumping in the air to say, hey, we made it. No, it's still a difficult time, and it'll take maybe another half year before we gonna see the situation to ease. Yeah. And of course, you see the mergers and acquisitions carousel. This is still moving on. We have seen 2 weeks ago Sycor buying Axis in the UK. We have seen last week a German company Zero buying an EMS company in Florida and extending their footprint to a more global footprint, which is something I like. And we have seen company Kontron, which are a company of Austrian S&T, buying the assets of a small EMS in Eastern Germany, which filed insolvency in last year, and they had been on sale for quite a while now, and Kontron bought the assets, which in my opinion is more or less the customers to make some revenues. In addition, today we saw the announcement that Sycor is issuing a bond, and that originates from One Equity Partners, which now holds 29.35% of the shares of Sycor. And if you remember it, One Equity Partners is a company which bought Productronica last year in the United States. And they are on a big expansion strategy. And the bond was issued in order for Sycor having more liquidity to do additional M&A business.
So, and it's interesting. I especially like the one where the Florida EMS was acquired, to see that the expansion internationally by some European, rather than having it going the other way with US companies and other companies buying in Europe. So it speaks to some of the dynamic that's happening there and the strength that's developing, and their view of the markets and how to serve them. So this is all very good, I think. Yeah. Okay. Listen, in the last few moments I have with you, I think we must cover the most important topic for the agenda today, and that is, I understand that you have a tour of some EMS companies in Europe planned over the next several weeks, and that you're actually taking a very special guest with you, as I understand that. So.
Oh, yes, I heard about that. I'm picking up a VIP at Munich Airport on Saturday, who will fly in from Texas. Let's see, wait a sec, what? Eric Miskel was the person whom I'm going to pick up at Munich Airport on Saturday. And as far as I know, we immediately, when getting home, we have to have a business meeting to talk about the important issues. Sunday, we have to prepare all the meetings we're going to have. As we are flying over to Estonia on Monday. By the way, we will have snow then in Estonia, because over the weekend it will snow. And different to Bavaria, we will have a Christmas market in Estonia, in Tallinn. Yeah, you know, you heard that in Bavaria, all Christmas markets have been canceled. So I'm very sorry, Eric, no Glühwein, but we'll have a Glühwein in Tallinn. And then we're going to visit a couple of important EMS manufacturers in Tallinn. We're going to see Enix below, which you can see on in my back. We're going to see Inition. Inition, where are you? Oh, yeah, next to Enix. We're going to meet with InCap. So very, very interesting developments. The seminar will definitely be well attended. On the president's dinner, we still might have to consider to do some downsizing of it. Even so, there is no reason to be concerned at the moment. The incidence levels regarding COVID in Estonia are lower than in Bavaria. Yeah. So it's not a problem. Yeah. And the week afterwards, we are going to drive through southern Germany to meet another good couple of companies you see in my back, such as we're going to see Rafi, we're going to see Zero, we're going to see New Ways, we're going to see Kartek, we're going to see Asteel Flash, we're going to see Solna, Gee, whom did I miss? Did I miss anybody? We're gonna see Prüfrex and Rave. Yeah, we're gonna see Rave. We're gonna see Vario Systems. And we will have a lot of serious discussions because we want to have a first-hand information about the situation of the European EMS industry. And I specifically asked again that we would like to see manufacturing as well to get a first-hand impression. And we will definitely put something together which is not only supposed to be a marketing tool for those companies we visit, but as well an information tool for all our audience who are listening regularly to EMS Now and would like to know firsthand what is going on. And exactly. That is our job.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And I must say, I'm very much looking forward to this trip. I know that there's been some concern expressed relative to safety and what have you. But having said that, I would also add to that in our discussions between you and I, we are both fully vaccinated. We are both taking all necessary and recommended precautions, and we'll continue to do that with an abundance of caution and in full compliance with the restrictions put in place by any of the sites we are visiting. So
we're gonna there is not gonna be any risk neither to us nor to the people we visit, because we take all necessary measures to make sure that none of us gets any harm, and that is as well pure egoism of ourselves to make sure that our customers next year can listen to our chats again as well.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And, my objective is to be able to, return home on December 17th so that I can spend Christmas with my family here back in Texas. I guess the alternative is if I somehow fail my test coming back, I get to spend Christmas with you, Dieter. So,
No, don't worry. It'll be fine, and nothing is going to happen. We all want to have a beautiful Christmas, and after Christmas, we already have to prepare for the European annual survey again, which is quite some work. Yeah, and to all our European EMS companies listening over here, I can only encourage you, please participate in the annual survey, which in4ma is doing together with the IPC. And if you want reliable, good data, please as well give in your data so the numbers are going to be even better. And we have a very strict confidentiality policy. We don't even mention who participates in the survey, but I can tell you this year it was 191 EMS companies participating, and I can assure you my objective this year for the next survey in January will be more than 200 companies in order to be better every time.
Yeah, no, I mean, you and I have discussed this before. Sometimes the frustration of market research is that everybody wants to know the data. Not everybody wants to participate in creating that. And, anyway, I'm a big admirer of you and your work and the services you provide for the industry. I look forward to traveling with you over the next several weeks and getting a firsthand view of the industry there in many of these companies that I've only dealt with at arm's length over the last few years. So this is a good thing to our audience. We will be reporting out from the road and providing updates, and hopefully you find that of interest and value to yourselves. So Dieter, we are going to end this here. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and my only request is don't be late picking me up. So
No. It's gonna snow on Saturday in Germany as well.
Wonderful. So
Yeah.
I will dress
Yeah,
accordingly.
temperatures will be between -1 and +4 degrees Celsius.
Brilliant.
Now, don't ask me what that is in Fahrenheit.
No, I won't. So I know I'm bringing long underwear, so that's all that matters. Yeah. Dieter, thank you very much for your time, for your insights here.
Welcome.
I look forward to seeing you within the week, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.